Hey scholars, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to work on Module 6, Lesson 13, Application Problem and Fluency. For application problem, you will need some paper and pencil. In Fluency, you won't need anything. Now, I'm going to warn you, this application problem is a little longer than normal, but don't worry, we are going to work through it together. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so our application problem for today says Julio read 6 books this week. Emmy read 12 books this week. How many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? How many books did they read in all? And how many more books does Julio have to read so that he has read one more book than Emmy? Now, I know that is a lot of questions that we have to answer, but don't worry, we're going to go through it step by step. So for this one, we're still going to do cubes. And the first thing we need to do is figure out our key numbers and labels. What do you think our key numbers and labels will be just by looking at these two sentences here at the top? All right, so I heard someone say Julio, and what about him? It will be, also circle 6 books. So Julio read 6 books, don't forget to go ahead and draw your arrow. All right, what else? I'm going to also circle Emmy and 12 books. Don't forget to draw your arrow for that one as well. So now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and check that off. Now, normally we only have one question, but how many questions do you see it so far? We have 3 questions that we have to underline. What do you think our first question will be? Yes, how many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? What will be my next question I have to underline? How many books did they read in all will be my second question. And what about the last one? This one's long. How many more books does Julio have to read so that he has read one more book than Emmy? So we have all of our questions underlined. Let's go ahead and check that off. And now we have to box our math action words and our questions. So go ahead, let's look at the first question. This is how many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? What do you think are action words in there? You are correct. I know we work with this a lot. It says how many fewer. I'm going to go ahead and box than because I know that I'll be comparing or finding the difference between how many books Julio read and how many books Emmy has read. And that will tell me what operation am I going to do. I will be doing subtraction. So I'm going to write my minus sign right here out to the side and I'm going to circle it. Now let's look at our second question. It says, how many books did they read in all? What do you think will be my action words in there? I heard someone say how many, so we can do that. But guess what? I also want to be sure I box in all because that tells me that I need to know how many books they have all together. So in all is also our key words. And what operation do you think we'll be doing there? If I want to know how many they have all together, I am going to add. So I'll write that right here and I'll circle it. What about for our last one? Now this one is a little tricky because this is how many more. And normally I would want to subtract for that one. But for this one, I'm going to do addition number sentence. So I'm not going to box the keyword here because I don't want to confuse us. But one thing I will do is go ahead, write my plus sign there, because for that one, I want to add. And don't worry, we're going to go over that one. We're going to break down that question a little bit more. But before we get there, let's go ahead and make our math drawing. For our problem, it says Julio read 6 books this week and Emmy read 12 books this week. So, what am I going to draw first? I am going to draw. First, I'm going to write J for Julio. Then, I'm going to write my box for my quick drawing. And what's going to go inside my box? I'm going to write the number 6. And I'm going to put B for books. And let's figure who else are we going to talk about? Emmy, so then I'll go ahead and write E for Emmy. Go ahead and draw your tape for your quick drawing. But I know for this one, my drawing is going to be a little bigger because he read more than Julio. What's going to go in my box? Gonna write 12. Or for this one, I'm going to write it on the outside because I know that he read 12 altogether, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. And then don't forget your B for books. All right, so I have my quick drawing here. And then, remember, my first question is how many fewer books did Julio read than Emmy? So I have my subtraction sign to help me remember that I'm going to subtract. So what do you think my first number sentence will be? All right, I heard some great answers, and it will be 12 minus 6 equals blank. What is 12 minus 6? It is 6. I heard some friends say they would count back, but I also heard that someone said they already know their doubles fact. So 6 plus 6 equals 12. And that's also why I left this box empty, because I know if I have 6 here, and if I add 6 more, that will equal 12. So here I can see that they both read 6 books, but Amy had read 6 more, and that's how he ended up with 12 books altogether. So that's why 12 minus 6 equals 6. Now we need to answer our next question. How many books did they read in all? I have my plus sign here, so I know I'm going to write an addition number sentence. What do you think my number sentence would be? All right. So I like how you did not get tricked. I heard someone say 12 plus 6, and that is correct. I like how you didn't get tricked by wanting to add all of these numbers together. Because remember, 6 plus 6 equals 12. So that means altogether, Amy read 12 books. So I'm going to do 12 plus 6. And what does that equal? It equals 18, because if I count on, starting with 12 and add 6 more, it will equal 18. Now, remember, this last one is a little tricky. It says, how many more books does Julio have to read? So that he has read 1 more book than Emmy. Let's break this down a little bit. How many books did Emmy read again? He read 12 books. So, what is 1 more than 12? It's 13. So, I know I have to solve for how many more books does Julio have to read in order to have read 13 books all together. So I know for that my whole will be 13. So I want to write, and remember I want to do an addition number sentence. So if my whole will be 13, it would go right here behind my equal sign. How many books did Emmy read already? He already read 6 books. So now I have to figure out 6 plus blank equals 13. I know that I said we want to do an addition number sentence for this one, but we can also do a subtraction. So if I want to do a subtraction number sentence, what number sentence can I write? I can also do 13 minus 6 equals blank to help me find out how many more books you need to read in order to get to 13. Why don't you go ahead and solve one? Why don't you go ahead and solve for one of those number sequences? All right, so what answer did you get? Okay, so I know if you do 6 plus 7, that will equal 13. But then if you also do 13 minus 6, that will also equal 7. So that means he has to read 7 more books in order to have read 1 more book than Emmy. Now I know that we answered all of our questions, but now we have to put them into a statement, which is on our back. Now, I already write them out for us. So I put everything that we talked about all together. Now it says Julio read 6 fewer books because remember we did 12 minus 6 in order to find that out. On here, I also read they read 18 books altogether because we had to do 12 plus 6 and that equals 18. And then I also wrote Julio needs to read 7 more books to have read 1 more book than Emmy. And that's what we solved here at the bottom. So, guess what? Ms. Buford forgot to go back up here. So we did box our key words or action words. We kind of forgot to think about what we know, but that's because we worked this out all together just by breaking down the questions, but we did solve it all together. So that's all for our application problem, and let's go ahead into our fluency practice. For our fluency practice today, I am going to write a number sentence. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve by making 10. Here's one number sentence for us. I have 9 plus 5 equals blank. And I want to solve this by making 10. If I make 10, I want to break down one of our numbers. What number do you think I will break down? I want to break down a number 5 because guess what? 9 only needs 1 more in order to make 10. So if I know 9 only needs 1 more, I'm going to make sure that I take out 1. But again, what will be my other part here? It will be 4 because guess what? 4 plus 1 equals 5. Now that I broke down a number 5, don't forget to cross it out. And I'm going to circle these two numbers together because I know that will be my first number sentence will be 9 plus 1 equals 10. Now that I have made 10, what do you think will be my next number sentence in order to solve? It would be 10, because remember you got to bring this down, plus 4, because that's the number that I have not used yet. And what is 10 plus 4? It is 14. So that means 9 plus 5 also equals 14. Now let's go ahead and do one more. For this one, you're going to tell me what you think I should do. My next number sentence is 8 plus 5 equals blank. What do you think I should do? I heard someone say I'm going to break down a 5. I am going to break down my 5. What will I break it down into? Someone said 1 and 4, but I'm not going to break it down into 1 and 4, because then if I add 8 plus 1, that will equal 9. But remember, I want to make 10. So how many more does 8 need in order to make 10? I need 2 more. So in order to do that, write your 2 right here. So that means what other part must I have in order to equal 5 up here? I must have 3. So 3 and 2 makes 5. Don't forget to cross it out because I can no longer use that number. And I'm going to circle these two together because that makes 10. What will be my first number sentence? 8 plus 2 equals 10. So what will be my next number sentence? Thank you for reminding me to bring down my 10. And it'll be plus 3 equals 13. So that means 8 plus 5 also equals, correct, 13. All right, so we're going to work on this a little bit more with Ms. Schneider, but I hope that you enjoyed and you have a nice day.